Shara, Shara Bashemti. Hello, everybody. Um, this is the Unwritten RPG Strange Seeds game. And I want to say hello to everybody from the raid who just came in from Insight Checked. Looks like they had just played a game of Monster of the Week, which is an awesome game powered by the Apocalypse game. So, Insight Checked and all the people who've come with them, welcome. This is Unwritten. Unwritten is the official role-playing game of the Myst universe, written and primarily developed by myself. I am Veronica, aka V, and let's go ahead and have everyone say hello, so we can make sure that their sound is working. Okay, Thomas.
Hello, welcome to the stream.
Eh,
We have people.
and Q,
Howdy.
and Pharaoh,
Hi, everybody.
and Alana.
Hey, welcome everyone.
Hey, well, and normally we have Cappella here. They have had an accident, however, and so they are doing the very understandable and wise thing of recovering instead of being here on the stream. I don't know if they'll drop in on the chat or not, but if you are listening, Capella, please get well, and we are looking forward to having you back in with us next time.
We miss you already.
Exactly, yeah. Um, so let's do a couple of the basic stuff. If you like what we're doing, there is a Patreon. You can see the link down at the bottom of the screen there. It's kind of small, but we keep working on stuff, and the more people sign up, the more things that we can do in the future. Um, also, since the reason we are here is the Myst games made by Cyan. I encourage you all to buy products made by Cyan. The Myst games, Uru games, Abduction, and keep an eye on the VR game Firmament that's supposed to be coming out sometime this year or late this year. I forget exactly, but so welcome. Um, and see, we've got a few other announcements. I know that Pharaoh's incredibly talented wife has continued to put out all sorts of interesting stuff. So, Pharaoh, if you can go ahead and give us a preview of that.
Right. So as usual, I have a wonderful background made by my wonderful wife. This was actually a decal she designed to put in our new house that we moved into a year and a half ago. So first decoration. It's wonderful.
Yay!
Uh, she also released a new children's book not too long ago. It is called Bunster, and you can find it at mascotbooks.com or on her Etsy shop at Ellipsis Dreams. It is a wonderfully cute story about a bunny in his yellow jacket and his gang of ducklings.
Sounds awesome. Christina always does some great stuff. So, if that sounds good to you, please go ahead and take a gander at that. Um, and Thomas has some things to talk about as well.
Yes, so got some confirmation. I will actually be at Gen Con again this year for the first time since pre-pandemic. So I will for sure all day on Sunday at Gen Con, if you happen to be going, be running unwritten stuff there. Um, as soon as the event catalog submissions open up, we'll be getting them in there. And so hopefully we'll have proper regular events. But even if we don't happen to get any in the actual catalog, be watching out and we'll make sure all the information gets everywhere because if if need be, we'll be camped out on a little table because they've got plenty of spaces there and running and written stuff at least all day Sunday and as much as I can as far as my schedule is going to allow. And then from there, we'll be going straight to Mysterium. It's going to be a great, fun little hectic time. So Gen Con's that first weekend in August, and Mysterium is the second weekend. So lots of
Yay!
unwritten both places.
Absolutely, yeah. Um, And I want to thank Thomas for doing so much work and trying to promote Unwritten. Thomas has really been a machine about that sort of thing, and was doing things that I have never really had a chance to do due to finances and COVID and that thing that seems to infect us all called life. So I really appreciate what Thomas does. Okie doke. This is session 11. Um, Almost a year, yeah. Um, and wait, wait. Before I go to let me just say for the new people here that this we do this show, this live stream, this game, uh, the first Sunday of every month at this time, 1 p.m. Pacific. Occasionally that moves back and forth a day or maybe a week um, because of different schedules and such. But usually we send that out on Twitter and on the Patreon and on the Cyan Discord, which you should join if you are not a part of already. And also, I have a semi-regular Tuesday stream where I play Myst games right now, and I make lots of commentary. Um, Often, sometimes about role-playing games and how to use the ideas from the Myst games in the role-playing games, and sometimes just whatever happens to hit my head at the time. So that's this stream as well. Okay, so now that I got all that out. Okay, so session 11, and Alana is going to give us the recap from what happened last time. Here you go, Alana.
All right, let me go through my notes here. So our last session opened up with Celia having a significant milestone. Celia had been off with the Guild of Surveyors for a few sessions, which I guess was maybe not actually a long span of time in game time. But she had been improving her uh, skills and stunts relating to surveying. So now she can create a map when we're first exploring an age, and someone else can invoke that map as an aspect that allows for a bonus to navigation. The other sort of immediate business that we needed to deal with at the beginning of the last session was taking care of poor Landris, who, as you may recall, had been burned in several places, and then in perhaps misguided effort to, put out the fires on his body, was thrown into water, like a torrent of water filled with stinging jellyfish, and then had gotten swept out to sea. So we began by recovering his body from the ocean, and Mishavan helped to improvise a stretcher that could transport Landris, and Kenneth attempted to offer some medical care. Tome was a little bit injured as well and emotionally shaken, so Mishavan offered her some very welcome comfort and support. Using our D communicator devices, we updated the Relima on the human trafficking route that we had uncovered. We didn't tell them that we had kind of blown up a core piece of it ourselves. We said it was a trap that we fell into, but we gave them the gist of the outlines. We also didn't tell them that we found our first of several important keys that the cult God, I always forget. Is it the cult of the seed or the cult of the tree? Cult of the tree? Tree.
Cult of the tree who
Cult
is
of the
after
tree.
the seed.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, no, they
that
have the seed.
they're
They don't
protecting
want
the
the
seed
Relium.
somewhere.
They don't want the Relium getting the seed.
There you
Right. Somewhere they have a seed hidden in perhaps the Dunny Cavern, and there are 3 keys hidden in safe places, as you do in the Myst universe. And so we recovered our first of the 3 keys. And
Second.
we did not.
No, that was the first one.
At the beginning of the session,
Oh,
we had
Heller.
just recovered.
Right. Yes.
We had
Yeah.
just recovered our first from Heller, and we did not tell the Relima about that. And Mishavan helped to create a decoy key based on that one. So when we found the second one, we could swap it out with the decoy. We also made some requests of the Relima. We asked for some more blank books and medical supplies, any information obtained from the cultists who they have captive, and an escort when in Denis, because I don't know, we just blew some stuff up or maybe a little worried about our safety. And so then our next stop, where we were hoping to find the second key, and yes, spoiler alert, we did, was Lost Hopes. So we linked into Lost Hopes, the whole gang, and it had a sort of Eder-like feel to it. It was this, as it turns out, a Denis cemetery that had a public Lincoln point, which we didn't kind of anticipate. So there were other people milling about, mostly Denis people. And There was a clear sort of stratification by socioeconomic class in the cemetery, which did turn out to pose some unexpected obstacles for our group because as Tome and Celia kind of wandered off in the direction where we had reason to believe the key was, we ran into an older couple who seemed to actually recognize both of us, which is definitely a risk for Tome, given that she's been kind of on the run from her adoptive parents in the upper echelons of society. And in Celia's case, coming from a different class background, it resulted in an altercation, a very heated and insulting debate about who belonged where, and the you know, the quality of someone's character based on the wealth of their family and all of that. And I feel bad that Celia had to endure that, but fortunately, Kenneth came to her support, and the two of them were able to help Tome kind of sneak away to continue investigating and hopefully not have to answer any uncomfortable questions. Mishavan came over as well to help kind of create a barrier between some of the statues that Tome was investigating and this older couple. Just another quick note here was that Landris had helped to keep an eye out for any onlookers, anyone who might be kind of watching us or treating us in a suspicious way. It didn't seem like there was anyone who was really keeping tabs on us, other than maybe this couple that we started having a big fight with. Yeah, so Tome, with some help from Mishavan, was able to recover the key from this statue where it was resting kind of hidden between a hand and a book. And she replaced it with the decoy key that Mishavan had made. And the group at that point kind of made its exit. I think Landris really wanted to be the last one to leave because that's now a big part of his identity. But he was still kind of injured, and I think for that reason, decided that it would be safest if Landris and Tome, who are both still recovering from injuries, went back to Landris's age, and then Mishavan helped to collect that book just after we linked out, and with the rest of the group, link back through the public Lincoln point that would go to somewhere in Denis. So I believe that's how that played out. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the session finds Tome writing a letter home to kind of preemptively paint a picture for her parents about her field trip, so they don't get too suspicious about maybe she's not really studying abroad or whatever she said she was doing. Celia also reaches out, calls home, reaches out to her family, and Mishavan, Kenneth, and Celia all return to the old office to find Tellen knocking on the door angrily. I think they almost decided to just turn around and leave, but decided to deal with Tellen, who had been trying to reach out to Landris for a while about his report on Sallow, but Landris's D was broken, and so he hadn't been able to respond to any messages. And so now Tellen is saying, bring me Landris ASAP, please. Probably not with the please. And I think that's where
yeah, Tellen is not a please person.
No.
Not one for niceties.
Most assuredly not.
Yeah. Did I miss anything? I think that's all I've got here.
That seems pretty thorough.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for doing that. And okie doke. So who is currently in Denis? Okay, who's where at this point? So, where's Landris?
So I think me and Mishavan were
in Denis,
either about to leave or had already left to go to Tellen's place.
I think that's correct.
with not only like a copy of my report,
Oh
but
yeah.
also like Mishavan's like encyclopedic knowledge of why this D being broken is definitely not my fault.
Yes. Yeah, Mishavan had some bones to pick with
Choice
Talon for
words.
that, for giving you guys the lower quality equipment.
Mm,
There were definitely choice words exchanged.
Yes.
yes, for
And
sure.
What was Q doing?
You're
He was
muted.
muted.
Q was being very quiet, which is unusual.
Seems very unlike Kenneth.
Oh no, you're sound.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so
There
my
you go.
keyboard stopped receiving any input, so hence why.
Oops.
I clicked the thing. I'm like, oh, I better unmute myself. I'm gonna have to talk soon. Oh, apparently,
The
it's
people are
actually
watching.
look at the screen to see if it works. Anyway, according to my notes, it says Celia, Toma, and Kenneth were going to go to Ishna, while the guys were heading over to,
Hey, y'all are going to the
strips and
amphitheater.
torn strips, etc. So that was what was
Oh,
in
okay.
my notes. So I don't know where we ended up. Toma goes to base. Celia, Kenneth, Mishavan go to Denise. So obviously, we probably
Are leaving from your
went
base?
to base
Mhm.
to like basically change people over.
Yeah.
Probably.
Have we
Okay.
established a final name for the for Laundress's base age, or are we still kind of waiting on that one yet?
Well, there have been a few. There have been a few things thrown out there. Let me.
I mean, if there's nothing heavily established, we don't need to do a great debate of it right now. I was just double checking.
Well, I don't think it was heavily established.
Okay.
There were definitely. Let's see.
It's funny if no one could agree on what it should be called, and everyone just like calls it age by their own name.
There we go.
No, there were
Rabbit season.
there were some really good.
And it would totally do that. Or just like make up a new name every single time to point out that there's no proper name. Yeah.
So
There
yeah,
you go.
Javon was
Totally
one of the
right.
names that was thrown around.
All right. Well, let's not worry about that
Yeah.
too much then, since it seems to be
Anyway.
unclear, and we'll start thinking about if we want to pin that down between this session and the next. Who knows? Maybe we'll send out some stuff to the patrons and get
Right.
opinions from them.
Good
Mhm.
idea.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep. Okie doke. Okay, so Mishavan and Landris were off to discuss things with Talon on
Mhm.
the new day here. Okie doke. So okay, you guys get to the maintainer's office, where Talon, in the guild halls where Talon works. There are a couple of maintainers kind of quickly bustling about back and forth, all with sort of worried looks on their faces. And one of them stops and looks at Landris and goes, "Oh no."
Well, especially he's like, remember, he's still limping
Yes.
and a little bit toasty, probably missing an eyebrow.
Yes. Exactly.
Like, he doesn't look good.
By the way, your consequence went to a minor one, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's minor.
consequence is minor,
But it
yeah.
still has only been like a few hours.
Yeah, still got a bit of a limp. It's still only a minor, it's a minor hindrance at the point, but it still will be there
Mhm.
for a bit. But yeah, there, he goes, oh no. Like, has Talon seen you yet?
No.
Are they addressing me or are they addressing?
It's
Mishavan?
addressing you, Landris.
Not yet. He saw him. And I point to Mishavan.
Kind
Our
of goes.
technical advisor.
Talon was already not in a good mood as it is. I wonder if it's a good time to take break. I think it is. So I'm gonna go get something to eat. I'll have fun.
What is Talon ever in a good mood? He just sort of hobbles towards the office. Like, if you've ever seen Talon in a good mood, it'd be great to let me know how to like make it happen.
But yeah, you get to the and Talon's assistant is there and it's kind of eyes you up and down. It's like, well, let me check to see if Talon is ready for you.
And it's definitely one of those, like, his maintainer outfit is pristine
Mhm.
and very clearly out of place with
It was
the disheveled person underneath the maintainer
okie doke. So, um, the assistant goes back and comes out and says, waves you in. Uh, Talon is sitting at his desk, and he looks you over, is like, "What happened to you?" He completely is ignoring Mashavin. It's just like, "Laundress, what happened to you?"
What didn't?
outfit. How do I want to phrase this? I've been thinking about this at great length because there are a few things that through a series of poorly executed adherences to the rules, acceptable risks wound up having unintended consequences, leaving me in a less than ideal situation.
Laundress, that is the brittlest load of rubble I have ever heard.
He blew up.
And I got the stitches. He starts to lift up the shirt.
You are supposed to be surveying and examining an age that is not dangerous at all. As far as we know, there's no large fauna, there's no sudden geological changes. I mean, even the plants are relatively benign. And you've managed to hurt yourself like that? How did you manage that?
Clearly, you've never had to deal with a caterer working with less than ideal equipment.
Oh, no, 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 no. You don't get to blame this on others. You are the maintainer on this silly little project. And so I expect you to represent our guild in the best way possible. And I'm not too sure how much that's within your capability, but I still expect the most from you. Maybe Yavo knows I have no reason to expect very much from you, but Salo is just a simple age. Did you fall out of a tree? Did you fall down a ravine? Were you looking up at the sky and not realizing where your feet were?
So, and then okay, all right. I've got. Oh boy, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be deferring to Mashavin for a bit of this. But I think I've got it. Unfortunately, while surveying and ensuring not only the safety but the adherence to our specific policies of the other members, including our Guild of Engineers friend here, who is very, very knowledgeable about all of the technology and the shortcomings of which our particular equipments have suffered. Um, the D themselves, and he could explain it far better than I could. Unfortunately, had an altercation with some of the securing devices used to properly survey and report on the taller trees in the age, resulting in a combustible incident of which I don't remember a lot because I was at the heart of it, given my D was the thing that malfunctioned and incited said incident. And then I remember waking up and having to have less than ideal medical care because I was unable to be taken to a hospital immediately without further risk of death. And it was not until however long it's been that I received any sort of word about this and was even conscious enough to be able to report back to you.
Talon just, sort of, rubs his temple, puts his face in his hand.
Perhaps in the follow-up report, it will be important to notate the issues with the equipment to the other guild masters on the council who are no doubt overseeing this project so that we can ensure better equipment moving forward, because we do not want it to seem as if the maintainers want to see this project fail, do we?
Well, Andres, that was a lot of words to say that just say that I'm a complete blank page and screwed up. So, you,
I,
engineer,
Yes.
what do you have to say about this?
Well, as I have said repeatedly, at least twice to you personally, the Ds that were provided to us for this entire project have been of subpar quality. As you can see from the remains of Landris's D here, it is unable to withstand some of the rigors that can show up unexpectedly on these expeditions. So initially, when it was provided to us, Mishavan goes on.
Yeah,
Pointing out that they were in poor quality first off.
poor quality, much gesticulation.
Not enough parts to fix them all up. Previously unknown problems with the D line of communicators, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
mention, OSHA being very, very concerned.
The Denis don't have OSHA. OSHA is probably the least Denis thing in the world.
That's true.
Only way you could
If you
upgrade from
can't
version
survive it,
2.0 to 3.0.
you don't deserve to be Denis. But Talon just closes his eyes. Seems to be counting to himself. So you are blaming subadequate gear and materials for. He kind of looks over at Laundress. That.
At least in part, if not in whole.
Fine. We're going to remove this obstacle so you can't hide behind it anymore. So, waves at Jenan, come in. And the assistant comes in and says, I want you to find some of our best equipment for this group. And you are not going to be able to hide behind these silly little excuses any further. Also, it doesn't mean you get to break this equipment. Okay? Because if you break the equipment, I will take the repairs out of your hides. I will not only take the repairs out of your hides, I will take them out of your family's hides, and I will take them out of your descendants' hides. He looks at Mashavan and says, do you understand what I am saying?
Mishavan eyes has lit up at the idea of the best equipment and just nods quite happily.
Oh god. Okay. So that aside, he pulls out the paper, a stack of papers. So your report. Now, I have to admit, this is a well-written report. However, it feels like you're not including something here. This is very cursory, and I expected a much more detailed report. Also, one of the things that I'd request is that you go to the west and find, and examine the ocean that is supposedly, to the west of the Lincoln areas of the plains. And I don't see any movement towards that. So,
Did he actually request that?
after you are given this equipment, I want to see a much more detailed report of what from Salo, and I want to see movement towards the west, and I want to see analysis of this ocean.
Good.
And I don't care how long it takes. I don't want to see another report until the oceanography has been thoroughly examined by you and the surveyor that is somehow attached to your group. Now, I expect that since this is an age for the Guild of Caterers, that the caterer, whatever their name is, um, that they'll have some things to add to the report too, because I see a lot of laundress here. I don't see very much of anybody else. So if I'm going to give you good equipment that you can't hide behind an excuse, I'm going to want to see quality, and I'm going to want to see quality that's indicative of your entire group. So I want to see, surveying comments. I want to see, um, you know, analysis of the flora and fauna how they might be used by the Guild of Caterers. If there's any special equipment that you have to build, I want to see those engineering notes. Um, do you think that you can do that?
So Landris takes a second. Also, didn't Celia help with writing this? So wouldn't there be surveyor comments in there?
Yeah, but he doesn't care at this moment.
Okay. He's just upset to be upset.
Yeah.
So Landris is gonna turn to Mashavin for a minute, just like hold up a finger to Tellin and say, "So we're supposed to survey an ocean. There's like a ball thing I've seen. Do we need one of those? Do you have one of those? Do we need to ask them for one of the? It's like a
Bathysphere.
Yes, there. That's the word.
Yes, we definitely need one of those.
Fine. But once again, I don't expect to hear from you until you have examined some oceanographic examinations and have some good conclusions. Janet over here will help take you to the quartermaster, and you'll get your things. But I don't want to hear, and I don't want to hear about problems either. I already have members of the caterers who are screaming at me because apparently the caterer is their kid, and they are complaining about their child being out of control and disrespectful to elders. This is not my problem. I mean, this project is still
Not sure how
shouldn't be
that's
my
my
problem.
How am I supposed to maintain their behavior when we are not
You're a
actively on
maintainer.
assignment? Are you saying that I need to maintain their behavior even when they are outside of the office? Because I will need a lot more compensation if I am going to have to be a 24-hour-a-day babysitting service. I cannot control what they do when they leave the office, sir.
It's not wrong.
Make them happy so they don't bother me. I don't care how you do it. I have important things to do as opposed to this project. So I don't deal with politics.
Saying this project is not important?
Okay, we're done with this conversation. Janin, you can give them their things. And like I said, I want to see those results because that's what people are asking me for, and that's what you were supposed to do. Now get out.
He turns and leaves.
We definitely leave.
So we're getting a bathysphere.
Yeah.
I do not know what the word for bathysphere is, and I shudder to consider it. So
So I just heard he doesn't want to hear anything from us until we complete this report on Sallow. And he
Yes.
doesn't care how long it takes either.
Mhm.
Nice job, guys. We're in a much better situation now.
Yeah.
Got new equipment, free
I'm really good at
range.
making him upset.
okie
Which,
doke.
to be fair, Landris would not normally be so callous, but he's still under the effects of whatever Kenneth put him on. That made him like obsessed with the key on the picture last time.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's in like a couple days, he's gonna realize what happened here and be like, "Oh God," and write a very lengthy apology.
Once again, blaming the caterer. Okie doke.
Find the letter before you send it. She'll totally just take it and rip it up. It doesn't deserve that.
Okie doke. So,
All right, so do
Tome,
we pick up the equipment, or are they gonna deliver it? How's that?
you know, he says that they'll deliver. They're going to be. Jen says they're going to be delivering new um delivering new communicators. And if, is it and there's be it's going to take a while to arrange all of the arrange a bathysphere and like deep water equipment. So just do other things until we have that ready. Just
Submarine.
Right.
Tiny elephant.
just for for Yava's sake, please don't make him any angrier. I mean, we've already had 3 incidents this morning, and on behalf of all the rest of the maintainers, please don't make him angry.
What is the other incident?
Yeah, I'm curious. Like,
Clearly, one of them was your parents showing up.
My
So,
bad.
all right, so I guess Landris is chilling at the office until the stuff gets delivered, so Tellen doesn't get upset.
Yeah.
Okie doke. So that takes us over to Tome and Kenneth, who have you said you were going to go and link into Ishna.
Well, I was just reading the journal fragments about Ishna again, and it doesn't sound like a very inviting place to go. It's barren, it's a very long walk. And I guess we were going to have Celia with us, but maybe we don't now. So I don't know whether we want to jump into it or whether it would make more sense to wait for Landris and Mashapin to rejoin us so we can go as a group.
Yeah, that wouldn't be terrible to wait.
Oh, that's cool.
I would point out, because you would probably, at least if you're looking at all the information about Ishna, somewhere at our office, you're probably also looking at Landris's other notes. And I would point out that as long as they say the walk is, it's only about 2 miles. It's the longest one, but it seems like maybe this was a person of more noble birth who never had to actually walk anywhere.
That's
2 miles
possible.
is not far.
Some archivists are just used to sitting at their desk, scribing away, not doing much else.
So, yeah. You could definitely wait for us, but I don't know how long we're going to be waiting. Because Landris is definitely of the at least. Well, he's giving us great equipment. We don't want to piss him off any further.
You don't want to be sitting in the hallway, like waiting for us when we get back. Someone could steal it.
Right, exactly. Especially a bathysphere. It's right there next to the lake.
Right now, picturing
fish hunting.
Beep, beep, beep.
There's gonna be livestock involved, like to try and get it over there.
Solo. Like how are we gonna get a bathysphere? Like it's gonna have to come in pieces.
That's why they have livestock.
Yeah,
that's how they move the drillers and stuff to different
ages. You just have the sections on a wagon, and you have this whole baggage train going across Sallow.
Okie doke. So let's go. I mean, it sounds like getting together. We can fast forward a bit until everything has kind of come together, and the new keys will have been delivered. actual keys,
Woohoo.
not D's. Um, and some other basic equipment, and they're like, some of the more complex equipment is going to take a while. So, you know, we will inform you when it's available.
Of course.
The report's going to take even longer.
So you got your keys, and so what's the plan?
Well, Mishavan's going to take a little while to do the typical transfer your data to a new device and
Mhm.
factory reset the old one for all of our Ds to keys.
Sounds good.
Gotta make it so that we can still open our security stuff. So
Exactly.
Okay, that's all. That's no problem with that. That's all taken care of.
Also, you got keys now, so our locks can be even better.
I assume that Tome left the second key that they found in Lost Hopes back somewhere safe in Lentrus's age. I don't think she would be carrying that around on her.
Makes sense. Which is different.
But
The key,
maybe-
which is different than key.
Yes.
Yes, we may need
AEY.
we may need some better way of differentiating now that we don't have D's anymore.
It's true.
Maybe it would be worth making another decoy if Mishavan is interested in that. I don't know how, it's not something that Tome can really contribute to, but it'd be really cool if we could somehow make a decoy key that is trackable, like, something as a little GPS beacon embedded in it, but to see use that as a way of either figuring out if the Relima are getting ahead of us or if we can find our way to other cultists. But
That seems possible because we have these Ds that
Mhm.
they don't want
the
anymore.
That's true.
Equipment. We have the best equipment ever.
I will even offer my key. I have a fully functional D that I'm happy with. If you want to repurpose my key for that to that end.
I bet Mishavan could rig up
So
just the tracking part, the positioning part. I bet
This-
that's doable.
Uh-huh.
this brings up an interesting question. So I know when I get new stuff, like computer parts and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, you got real
A
quiet
lot
there
of
for a second.
tinkering. Oh, sorry. There's a lot of tinkering that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be rational to think that Mishavan might take one of these apart to make sure that Helen or somebody else doesn't already have trackers in our keys to monitor us and make sure we're actually just going to Sallow for these reports?
That's a good point too. Definitely would at least check Landris's.
Also,
Okay,
just a
so
tone
are
to
you
say,
going to-
"Get it, your parents are mad."
Are you going to start double checking the keys?
I think I am. It might be a step too paranoid considering Talon doesn't seem to actually want to have to deal with us, but it's worth checking.
well, there
Okay.
could be Relima or cult of tree spies in the maintainers that got to our equipment before it got to us.
That is possible too. So,
If we have to
I'd
go
like to give
grab
him a
some
once-over.
crabs,
Okay.
strap these trackers on them, and let them loose in Sallow.
So
Sounds fun.
that sort of deep thing is going to be pretty difficult. I mean, it's going to be an engineering out of 5.
Okay. All right. So
Ruin the
here we go.
ecosystem in Solo.
Just quabs with
Oh,
trackers on them.
Well,
There we go.
We go in, there's no grass left. The clouds have flattened everything.
Yeah.
Reproduced out of control. Whoops.
that's entirely possible. I rolled a -2. My skill is a 4, so a total is a +2.
You would need to tag at least 2 aspects or do a reroll.
Let me think.
I couldn't lend any support with a research skill check, could I? That'd be my most
Probably
relevant skill.
not because of the advanced nature of the engineering.
Yeah,
I mean, in most cases, yes, but this is pretty advanced stuff.
sure.
So I'm going to invoke leave no stone unturned.
Okay.
It's definitely, we're making absolutely sure that no one's tampered with this equipment here.
Okay, I'm gonna reroll.
I am gonna reroll.
Okay.
One fate point gone. That is tie. I got a total a +1 on the die roll, and with my skill is makes a +5. So and I will choose to succeed at a minor cost.
Okay. So you do manage to take take the key apart. There's definitely some more advanced techniques and advanced engineering involved, some of which you're actually not very familiar with. But you are able to tell that there is a sort of repeater device in it, a repeater thing in it, so that the signal is being that comes out of the key is being sent to two different locations.
Oh boy.
Unfortunately, putting the keys back together is proving a little bit difficult. So you're not entirely certain about how what effects it might have on the components you are not very familiar with. So
Nice.
so your so the keys.
Landis' key immediately.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So we're
if
reducing our Ds, huh?
yep. So the keys all now have an unreliable aspect.
They're also like, where is it sending it? Like 2 separate
Right.
locations?
Well, one sends it to the normal frequency. I guess it's not quite the right word, but another one sends it to a different frequency. If that makes sense.
We have the normal stream of neutrinos and the other stream of neutrinos.
Yes, two different data streams, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I
So
believe
we're all keeping our Ds then, and we are finding some place to put our keys.
I guess so. Huh.
Now, I assume we did this in the office and not Landers' age.
Definitely, yes.
Because we were waiting.
hmm
Yeah.
I believe this counts as 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do with these? I could find some kids to give them to. That'd be fun.
Wait, so did you also succeed
Well,
at making a traceable key from
Oh,
the
no.
keys?
Oh, sorry. I did not. I haven't tried that yet. So
Okay, so that'll be a separate check.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a 4 though. I think at this point,
Okay.
since you've learned a little bit from your previous
Yeah.
exploration.
That helps. Okay, so let's try this. So I'm. Let's see. Oh, that's a -1. That puts me at a 3.
Dice are not having fun today.
Well, it comes and goes.
Yep.
Do I want to? Well, fate points are meant to be spent, right?
They are.
100%.
So I feel like this is a very practical task
Mhm.
that Tome suggested. That
Practical
it
to a
gives us
fault.
Exactly. So I'm going to invoke practical to a fault
Sounds good.
for a +2, which should give me a success.
Okie doke. So yeah, you're able to put together a sort of tracking subunit. It's a little it's bulkier than you'd like, but you can kind of build a sort of bulky version of the key. Like the head part of the key of the the actual turning part. There are terms for these, and I don't remember what they are. Is a little bit bigger than the other one, but it seems to work. It would someone would have to like take a look at it very specifically in order to tell it's been futzed with.
That's good. All right.
So you have the duplicate that was already in Lost Hope. No,
Mhm.
in
So
Lost
this one's
Hopes.
going to Ishna then.
So this one's going to Ishna?
Yeah.
Or
That makes sense.
That's the
Yeah, I
plan.
think
Yes.
so. Yeah.
okay. Sounds good.
So-
Sounds good. Okie doke. So you've gotten your tech stuff done there. Any other tech stuff or that needs to be done?
Think
So our keys right now, other people can see where we are.
someone else could see where we are.
All
I
right.
don't know if someone else is seeing where we are.
We still have our Ds.
Yes.
So maybe we could leave the keys in the office for now, like
Nope.
under the guise that
I
we're
have a better
waiting.
idea.
Okay.
Oh yeah?
Do tell.
No?
Better idea. Because we're supposed to be investigating Sallow.
Yeah.
And if Tellin ever comes looking for us here because our keys are here, oh,
Oop.
Oh, sorry.
and if Tellin
Always
ever
some sort
comes
of
looking
technical
for us
issue.
here because our keys are here,
Where did my thing
they're
go?
gonna know something's up.
Oh, you can't hear us speak?
So,
I can hear you, but I managed to hit a wrong button.
okay.
Okay, so
To the
yeah,
trap
then
books
if
with all of
he
them.
showed up at the office and we didn't answer the door,
So
then
if I quickly
No.
run them to a place in the west on Sallow, so
Hey.
it looks like all of us are on Sallow, then it just looks like we're going about our normal business there.
That seems like a good idea. Because we know
Oh
Tellin
man, I
will
managed to blow everything
bang.
here.
Okay.
too bad we
Shall
don't have
keep
like a Dunny Roomba.
Keep talking.
Okay.
Set it on there.
Of course, you know.
It hit something.
Well, you know, we've got the newest and greatest equipment. How do we know there's not a Dunny Roomba? Oh, dang it. I think it's Solia. I was going to say, doesn't somebody have an aspect where they could say, we've got this specialized piece of equipment?
Yeah,
I think it's Solia.
It is.
and kind of used to have access to Daddy's accounts where she could have like
Oop.
bought us a drone or something or a Roomba. Yeah, she lost that last game,
Oh dear.
Also, they're mad.
and now we know why.
Yeah, Landers did let you know that your parents are mad.
So I like the idea of like popping the keys into Sallow. Because as far as we know, Tellin has not left Denis at all
Right.
to bother or anything. So I think, yeah, I think that's fine.
Mhm.
And we can use our Ds.
There's got to be a way. Like, I'd be willing to spend fate points to make it happen. There's got to be a way to make it look like we're just going about our normal to-dos.
You want to spend a fate point for that?
I don't know how I would do it because I'm not the engineer.
I mean, you can definitely.
I'll 100% take all these keys with me to Sallow, and whether it's like
tie them to
all
animals or something.
creatures or whatever, like attach them to
Yeah.
things so it looks like we're
I
not
know
just
how we
standing
could-
still.
I know how we could do it. You would just set up like Mashavan could set it up so that arrows move every little bit, like every however many long, and it looks like we're going west, and the keys just
Okay.
sitting there.
Yeah.
He could totally do that so that like the internal structures are like shifting in their relation to the Great Zero.
Yeah.
And they're
That might
not.
be a
You can totally
a
program.
bit much. Like,
Like I don't know if you'd use intrusion or
I to be honest,
I don't have engineering.
I like it just putting them on some plants in Sallow and that the wind will move back and forth. That
Well, but if we just stay in one spot, like 2 days from now, we're still in the same spot. You know,
Yeah.
that's my
Well,
that's why, like I said,
In 2
if you
days, it
spend
might
a,
not
if you're going to
matter.
spend a fate point, we can make it. We can just kind of hand wave it and say you figure out something cool.
because
That's what
my
fate
first thought process is we've got that little like underground cave, which I think is in the west, where we were hiding
yeah,
the
over
body,
there.
but now the body is in my age. So now we've got that. So I don't know. I know it's got like a little underground rivery thing there,
Yeah, and you have
but
a
there
book
could be like
together.
a bob thing where like the river goes a certain way and eventually cycles back to our little cave. And so if I put it there, then it looks like we're exploring all this area in the west over like however long it takes
Yeah.
for the little.
That
Yeah,
works.
with a
I don't
little-
want to
a
spend
little
too
tiny
much more
round.
time on the mechanics of it, so that we can do other
Right.
stuff. But yeah, if you put you want
And we
you
could-
Landris, you're gonna spend the fate point.
Yeah, I'll spend a fate point to make it happen. Like
Okay.
I said, we can work out minutia later.
Yeah, exactly.
Like just having a cool idea, you know.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. Like the part in Home Alone where the cardboard cutouts are on toy train.
Yes, exactly. There we go. Little toy train of cutouts, all around Salo. Though I can kind of see that from a like that's something that Atris would do with like build like a train track system specifically to like run them around the
Okay.
age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But okay, doke. So you guys got your keys set up. Q and Tome, are you guys doing anything specific to prepare, either for doing anything before you go, or prepare for the Ishna expedition excursion?
I don't think so. You said that my minor injuries, my minor consequence should be totally healed by
Yeah.
this session, right?
Yeah.
I guess the only thing, if she hasn't done this already, would be to try to, if she has any scorched clothing, to try to find something new to change it to. But I can't think of too much else that Timmy needs to prepare right now.
Okie doke. There's a knock at the door.
The office door.
Office door, yes.
Answer it.
All right.
We see who
Nishavan
it
goes
is.
over and peeks through the peephole.
You see an older Denis lady wearing Guild of Caterers regalia.
I quietly gesture at Kenneth to come over here and have her look through the hole.
Is this her mom?
It is in fact Kenneth's mother.
Oh my god.
She has that look of someone who is very disappointed with their child.
Not here.
Okay. So I tell Kenneth to whisper to
Wait.
Kenneth to go upstairs.
I'm great at making people upset right now.
And do my usual show for the visitors of taking a long time to loudly unlock the door.
Clunk, clunk.
Remember,
clunk.
this is a Guild of Maintainers facility. We cannot allow unauthorized personnel in.
Okie doke.
It's
So
a
you,
very specific task from like the council.
Tome will, per usual, retreat out of view as well.
Mhm,
Everybody.
so there you open the door.
mhm.
And she's the woman there is like kind of looks at you and says, "May I I'm trying to find Kenneth. I was told that she works here."
May I inquire as to who you are?
Tell Kenneth that her mother that her mother is here and would like to speak to her.
Mishavan blanches slightly.
Who knows?
I will. She's not available right now. I can let her know that you stopped by. Would you like to leave a message or a note?
You'd like
Where
to be made public about it.
where is she?
She's busy examining the age that we were given for stuff for the caterers.
Alone?
No, the maintainers there with her too, probably.
Probably.
And so is our,
Landris is
and
definitely
and
not
who are
anywhere
you,
this way.
anyways?
and so is our intern. Our intern's with her too, probably. I am the engineer and technical specialist. I
Mm.
make sure the equipment is running better than average, probably.
Well, please let Kenneth know that her father and myself have heard some very concerning things about her and her current project, and we are we're very concerned about what she's involved in and how it might affect her future in the guild. So please, have her contact me as soon as she is available.
I will do so. Just as a quick aside, Kenneth I mean, it has been an excellent coworker. I have had no complaints.
Oh man, you're getting so many pens of brownies.
Well, good, good. I know it can be difficult sometimes, um, but I think really, she's a good child at heart, really. Even if she has her moments, but we are just concerned about her future, and we weren't very happy about this particular project, anyways. Um, so just make sure that make sure she is okay, and make sure that she, per, you know, represents her guild well.
I
She's
will
upstairs like,
convey the
"Jeez,
message. I'll convey the message.
Thank you very much.
With
That's the best painkillers.
Yep, and bid a very courteous farewell.
Thank you very much. And she takes off.
I close and lock the door, and then sigh and sink to the floor.
It's like, thank you so much. Oh,
Your mother
can't believe my
is
mom
a-
showed up to work.
Your
So
mother's an
embarrassing.
intimidating woman.
So I have. Okay, so point of inquiry.
We're nothing alike.
Well,
Last
I like
knew-
Rachel's comment from the chat. Nothing says confidence like an engineer saying probably.
So last I recall, our office here still had a big hole in the side of it.
No, there's actually some plywood over that, at least.
Perfect. It's like suddenly your mom's walking away and you're just like peeking out the hole. No, there she is. She's here.
I mean, there's
You said nothing.
Has someone knocking on our door ever been a good thing? Just like this conditioned response of dread by now.
And I think everyone who ever knocks on our door is like, geez, I think that engineer guy's the only one who works there because he's like the only one to answer the door. And everyone else is like, we're like scattered.
The rest of us are clearly
Michelle's
working.
the only one working.
Okie doke. What are you guys up to then?
Oh boy. Kenneth's probably gonna have to apologize to that old geezer if he can find his name.
not.
But she doesn't want to because she still feels like it was the right thing to do to stick up for so
I don't think we ever got their names.
I don't think so either.
No, bummer.
Yeah.
She ran into them at some sort of ball or something, but she just remembered this like Mr. Mrs. Old blah blah blah.
Tommy makes sure to go ahead and mail that letter about the field trip to her parents because she wasn't sure at first that word would get back from this older couple, but now that it clearly has made its way,
she's like, lick.
Yeah. She like gives it like priority mail.
Priority mail, love it. I'm having so much fun at summer camp.
Hello, Mata. Hello, Fada. Okie doke. So, once again, any last bits before we start going towards Ishna? That, if I understand, that's the next target, right?
That is the next target. I have nothing left.
Tome?
I don't think so.
Uh,
She's ready to go.
Kenneth?
Oh, we're out of here. Bye.
Landris, last things?
I think we're good. Like I've got, like I guess. Okay, so our keys are now on Sallow.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a D but me.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We've got extra. I've got extra linking book to my age and extra linking book to Office.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're good. I think we're all right.
Yep.
Sounds good. Okie doke. So you link into Ishna, and the first thing that you noticed is it's incredibly windy. Ishna is sort of this grayish, blasted landscape. It's like a Badlands sort of look. Think sort of like Minkata, but not as cheery. instead of being bright with sun, it's gray. The rocks are gray. The earth is gray. Um, it's overcast. It's blowing. Um, you know, um, looming clouds in the distance, that sort of thing. Um, and the wind it's not enough to like knock you over, but it's definitely not anything you want to let your papers loose in.
So we're used to this. We've all been on the surface of life.
I should rename it in honor of my mother. All right. Well, we should probably just trek on over there as quick as possible. But
So what's your what's your trajectory is not the right word, but so what exactly are you doing? Like which direction you go in?
Well, at first glance, is there anything interesting besides dull grayness?
There seems to be some, in various different directions, what looks sort of like ruins. Like the remains of stone buildings. Um, you know, nothing that looks like it would like provide shelter or anything like that. Just like many years ago there were buildings here, and the elements have destroyed them or something. That sort of thing.
Oh, you know what comes to mind for anyone who's played Mass Effect is Tachanka, the Krogan homeworld.
It's a great word too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say we look in the direction of 5,076 Taurens, or like north by northeast. And
I'm just wondering, one of the journal fragments says, when I asked him if we were heading west, he just said we weren't and scowled. Does that, I believe that refers to Ishna, and I'm kind of wondering why there is any discussion of which direction they were heading.
You'd think he could read his D just fine.
I mean, who knows what they were carrying on them at the time?
Yeah, Lee.
Let me bring up my fragments here.
Chamber.
So I think this is the center stand of the amphitheater. So it's the third row in our table. So we have an angle that is 3 digits.
Mm-hmm.
Right, which is 5,076 Taurens, which winds up being 29 degrees, which is north by northeast.
Mm-hmm.
The one that was west was Lost Hopes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought there was. I don't remember anymore.
Fourth location is in Denny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are 4 angles marked in Denny numerals in the journal thing. So there's a 0, a 831, a 2212, and a 3002. Remember, those are Denny numbers, but.
Mm-hmm. I'm just curious, is there anything to the west that would indicate why maybe the author of these notes wished they were heading west?
No, not really.
Okay.
Nothing over there. Maybe. I mean, you guys have done so far, you've gone straight west, which is the 3002, and then you went southward, vaguely southward in Heller, which was the 2212. So there's two angles left. 0, which is due north, and the 831, which is the sort of north by northeast.
Well, let's do the north by northeast and keep an eye out for signs of other people, I guess. Because I mean, because one of the places was a human trafficking location, obviously the graveyard probably wasn't. Too many people around for it to be that. So no idea if they're using this age for anything else either.
Yeah.
I will note that the north by northeast angle does head directly into the looming clouds.
Right.
And as you head that direction, the wind does pick up even more.
Okay. Then I would like to use my stunt or resource.
Okay.
I would like to declare that just on the it's a home lab.
Mhm.
And I'd like to say that on the off chance that we needed some extra stability, I brought some fancy extendable walking sticks.
Cool.
Sure.
I was
Okay,
also
so
gonna.
we'll have an aspect of walking sticks.
Mm-hmm.
So
With the idea that they help with stability and that
Yep.
sort of thing.
Yeah.
I was also gonna suggest doing the anchor point. So have Landris go in the front with like a rope tied, because he's got the athletics there, and then that gives everybody else the bonus to be able to keep up. So then if we have a rope between the four of us, if one of us falls, it's easy for the rest of us to get the others back up.
I think that's also a great idea. Yeah.
Okie doke. Kenneth, are you doing taking any special measures at this point, or
Pulling her goggles down. She was already, yeah, she probably is like doing the full on, completely covered up thing.
there you go.
Being
The
generally miserable.
Fremen outfit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's a great workout. I mean, like if she could.
And Tome, are you doing anything specific?
I'm not to be the odd one out here, but I think she is not going to take a hold of that rope that Landris is pulling, because she has strong survival and athletic skills, and mobility is kind of her thing.
Mm-hmm.
But she will stick close to the group for now, at least. And maybe since Solia is not here, and normally Solia would be making a map, but Tome was a little bit of an understudy to her. Tome will try to do some charting along the way, although it seems like it's pretty much just an open expanse. But, in case they get turned around by the cloud and wind, she'll try to keep track of their orientation and make some notes.
Yep.
Sounds
And
great.
There are apparently ruins to suffice as landmarks.
Yes, there are.
Yeah.
That's at least something.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing that you guys have been preparing, because this is when the storm hits. Just we're talking just wave of like dust, and it's there's some rain mixed in, but not a lot. There's like dust, and it's
Awesome.
blowing hard. We're talking pretty cool, full on sandstorm.
Right.
So,
With
and
a
it just
little bit
seems to
of
come
water
out of
to make
nowhere.
and a little bit of water makes lovely little splats of mud or something, right?
Yeah.
I was saying I'm waiting for the sinkholes.
Okie doke.
Don't give
So
the
let's
GM ideas.
everybody. Let's either make a athletics or survival roll.
Right.
Versus a 5, since it comes like
geez.
a squee out of heck.
Uh-huh. So with my +1 athletics, let's do this.
Remember that you do have some aspects that you can tag as a group to help you out. Those do cost fate points, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm got my athletics as a +4. I got a +1 on my die, so I'm at a tie right now.
Okay.
Nice.
My athletics is at a 3, but I got a -1 on my roll. I only got a 2.
Okay, doke. Would you want to spend a fate point?
Yeah, sure. I'll spend a fate point
to tag your canes and such?
Yeah.
Okie doke.
It'll still be only 4, but
yeah. So you can do a reroll, or if you can figure out some other, there's a bonus from Landris's thing. What is the bonus again, Thomas?
So
or your set the anchor point.
So basically, when traversing difficult or hazardous terrain for the purpose of setting up a point for the group to use to construct a safe passage, e.g. a bridge, a ladder, or in this point, like a rope to follow along with.
Yeah.
I gain a success of adequate, or we can elect to roll if we wish to attempt a better level of success. So basically it's an extra +1, I would think, for a situation like this.
Okay.
If they wanted to invoke it, or
if you invoke it, and with the help of Landris's stuff, you will be able to hold your ground.
Okay.
Okie doke. Tome, how did you do?
Did you say it was only a +1 for invoking Landris's aspect?
You said that you weren't holding on to the rope.
Well, see, this is the thing.
He instantly regrets that decision.
So I have a good survival skill +4. I rolled a -1.
Mhm.
So I was thinking, okay, maybe Tomei is humbled and she grabs onto the rope if she can, but it sounds like that would not actually be enough because, well, let's see.
You could
I guess
invoke the aspect Mashavan gave you with the extra equipment, but it will take a fate point.
Okay, and that would, so I guess I'm at a 3, and that would, and you said the challenge for this was a 4?
A 5.
5.
So
Yeah,
this you'll
two.
hold your ground.
Okay, I will invoke Mashavan's aspect then with the like walking sticks or whatever it is.
Yep.
Okay, doke.
So Mashavan, with his 1 athletics, managed to roll a -1 on the dice.
Oh,
So, and there's not really any recovering from that. So Mashavan is going to fail.
I mean,
Yeah,
you do
see it.
have your aspect, and you do have a fate point.
But they'll
Going
only
for
take
the
one.
+4 is risky. But I don't know. Fate points are meant to be spent, so I'm going to tag my walking sticks that I brought for reroll. I mean, going from a 0 to a 2 on a 5 challenge isn't going to do much. So let's hope for a +2. So that gets me at a 3 with being attached to Laundress's anchor point. That gets me a +1, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm at a +4 and no fate points.
Can it supply stunt, no pain, no gain? Like if fail but a success seems close. Oh, but then it's like, nah, then I have to spend a fate point to try again with will, which is the same as my athletics. So that's not going to necessarily help.
I was gonna say I've got that first one in, last one out, which is all about the safety of the party. Landris could go and dive to try and make sure Mashavan doesn't blow away.
That does sound like a very Laundress thing to do. In fact, he might even feel compelled to do that.
Yeah,
but that's a terrible
100%.
idea because he's the one who's holding the rest of us.
This is
Yeah,
true. That, but
So if
Laundress,
Laundress,
he
if
really
you
cares
move,
about his people.
the rest of us are going to fail because we all only barely succeeded. Crap, that'll be funny. Wait, do it.
So okay, so
Like,
so here's
and
the
Laundress
question.
is like, no. Everyone's like,
So here's the question, right? So Landris is clearly at the front. Tomei's off to the side somewhere. What's the rest of the marching order for who's tied on to where?
It would make no sense for Mashavan to be in the middle because he would be blown. If he was at the end, you wouldn't notice when he was blown away. So
yeah,
it would be Mashavan, then Kenneth.
So assuming Landris is actually okay, but I'll get to that in a minute. We still have a Kenneth before we're really hosed.
Yeah.
So I've got an extra person there as a buffer. So 100%, yeah, he'd totally like go.
No, sorry.
Yeah, like because we've got the walking sticks, we've got the rope, and Landris. Yeah, this is definitely a compel for him.
Mm-hmm. So you're accepting the compel.
He's definitely gonna try and save Mashavan. Yeah, he's gonna die for it to try and make sure Mashavan doesn't get blown away.
Okay, athletics roll versus a 5.
Oh my goodness.
My athletics
gonna be the only one standing there because she didn't hold on to the rope. Like,
wow.
Okay, no, that's a 7. We'll take it.
Woohoo!
Well done.
So Laundress does a dive and plant in the dive plants his walking the walking stick thing that Mashavan gave him into the ground and reaches out and grabs Mashavan by the scruff of the neck. Just,
Yep. Now
very impressive.
I almost hate to say it. Laundress is still suffering a minor consequence.
This is true. I mean, that definitely could be another compel.
So, how hurt is Laundress now? I dislocate my shoulder.
So I'm going to compel the consequence. Are you accepting the compel or are you paying it off?
I'll accept it.
Okay, so that gives you up to 4. So you're full of fate stuff there.
You
Okay,
have as many fate points as everyone else combined.
exactly. So
True.
you'll be sitting, Laundress in front of everything anyway. So,
Oh,
okay, here's a good question. What is a good thing that could happen to Laundress at this point? Let's see.
because yeah, with the 7, he definitely succeeded.
He succeeded in
And-
in
But he has
catching
that limp, so
Mashavin,
maybe
but
he,
something
like,
happens
cuts his
because of his
ankle or
injury.
something. Because
Yeah,
his entry is either the leg or else like the sand and the fabric on Mashavin's robes like aggravated his like burned skin. But I have a sneaking suspicion it's his leg.
Yeah, the leg, I think the little limp
Because
makes
if
the
he would
most
have
sense.
stuffed it in to try to stop, and I think he probably like mucked up.
Yep.
Oh, how about this? Because of it, he injures himself while grabbing Mashavin. We'll leave you with the minor consequence, but you do not have access to your set the anchor point stunt for the rest of the scene.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I am no longer that steady
Rock guy. Oh dear.
Yep. Okay. So I want to go ahead and shift into a contest scene here, which is going to be you guys versus the weather.
Sure, the weather wins.
And as a fate contest, that means you guys are each going to be rolling against the weather, and if the weather gets 3 victories against a particular person, they blow off. If you get 3 victories against the weather, then that means that you make it through without any further calamity. So now the weather we're kind of running as an opponent, and the weather has blow sand at 5, and it has lightning strikes at 4.
Oh geez. All right.
It can only use it can only target 1 person for a lightning strike per round. However,
To be clear, you're not implying any sentience behind this storm,
No.
are you?
no, there's no sentience behind the storm. But one way that in Fate that you can run conflicts like this is to essentially treat something in the environment as if it were a character and just run the mechanics that way.
Yeah. Cool.
So essentially, we've got we've got a storm with 2 skills: blow sand at 5 and lightning strike at 4. Okie doke. So who because Laundress will be the first target of the lightning strike. So
Good luck, Laundress. Good thing you have all them fate points.
okay, so is anybody going to do any particular any particular actions in terms of like maybe creating aspects or anything like that? Get a chance to do that, and then we're all gonna roll versus our for the contest.
I have mentioned in the past that Kenneth is into extreme sports, including like rock climbing and stuff like that, cliff diving. So I'm thinking that she would understand how to hold her body close to the ground while still allowing like aerodynamics. She knows not to hug it because that makes it worse, but like I think she would know enough to try to apply what she learns doing vertically to this storm that's blowing horizontally. I think she would like flop onto her belly and like try to change her hold a bit instead of trying to stay upright.
So we'll do so that's an athletics thing. We'll do that versus a 4. And if successful, then you'll get an aspect with a free invoke.
Yeah, create advantage.
Wow,
this is a create advantage roll.
I got a 7, so.
Wow.
Okay, so you have an aspect of let's just go for well situated, since I can't think of something creative at the moment. And you have for yourself a free invoke on that, so it's like a free fate point.
Okay.
She got she got a +7, right? And the difficulty was a 4. Doesn't that succeed with style?
It does. You are correct. You excelled, so that's 2 invokes.
Invokes for me personally?
Because
Or...
it was about situating yourself, yes. It's an
Okay.
aspect on you specifically.
Okay.
You know, from there later on, you might be able to do more to help other people.
Yeah,
But
that's
you know,
hopefully good.
it's definitely the in case of in case of a pressure change, please put the mask on yourself before helping others.
Yeah. Good point.
Okie doke. Mashavin, Tome, Landris, any of you going to be doing any you know special actions before we get into the contest round?
Yes. So thanks to Junie Girl mentioning something about a lightning rod in the chat.
Yay, chat!
While
Yay, good thinking.
during the moment or two while Laundress is holding Mashavin in the wind, seeing the lightning coming, Mashavin wants to, like, I guess, like, use the wire that he has in his packet of stuff and kind of make a basic lightning rod that will go from the top of his head, like the hood of his robe, and ground at the feet. So if he gets struck by lightning, it wouldn't be quite as horrible.
So you're making a sort of a lightning rod, a portable lightning rod?
Call it an improvised lightning rod.
But
Like
but you'll be
Faroguy
carrying
to yourself.
it strapped to your body, or
kind of, yeah. Yes. It will at least channel the majority of the lightning away, not through my important
the important bits. You're creating a path of least resistance that goes into like a wire that drags in the ground.
Yeah.
I would assume it's like those things when you're messing with Tesla coils.
Yes.
The big ones, like the arc generators and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
As long as you're grounded, you're fine. But if ever you're not grounded, then you're fried like a toad.
Yes, very not fine.
Okie doke.
So
go ahead and roll versus a 5 on that one, because of we've got the sand and everything blowing.
Yep. So this is a craft roll, I would say, right?
Craft or engineering?
Well, then I'd rather do engineering.
Yep.
And nope, that's a -2. My poor dice today.
Yeah,
so
and you got no fate points, so
I cannot do a thing. So I am going to fail graciously.
Okie doke. Tome, do you have anything? No, you said you didn't have anything. Did I ask you already?
No, I don't think so. So just before I saw Judy's post at the chat, I also had a sort of similar thought. I was wondering, especially since Mashavin's attempt didn't succeed, are there any nearby kind of elevated areas that I could climb up to? This would definitely be a risk to me, but I was thinking if there were a place I could climb a little bit up to, I could try planting one of the walking poles there, and then that could serve as a lightning rod that is not mobile, but maybe if a lightning was to strike near our group, it would draw it away.
If you spend the fate point, I'll let you do that without a roll. To declare that there is a place where you can do that effectively.
Sure.
But
then I still need to roll to actually succeed on climbing up, or not?
No. The fate point means you just you get to the place is there, and you get to plant it.
Okay.
There might be benefits and consequences to those actions, but yeah. Okay. And Laundress, I don't think you've done anything yet. Do you have anything in mind?
I saved Mashavin.
Oh yeah, you saved Mashavin. Okay.
I saved Mashavin, and now I'm going to take lightning to the face.
Yep. Okay, doke. Now note that as a character, okay, doke. Okay, doke. We're gonna go ahead and do our contest. So everybody roll athletics.
So, okay, so do I need to roll twice, once for the lightning and once for the storm?
No. You'll be rolling once, and it's just against the lightning.
I got
No.
4.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Landris.
Oh, Landris is, yeah. So I'll start with my athletics is a +4.
Mm-hmm.
After my dice roll, I'm at a 1.
Oh. Well, let's see here.
That would be
Neurotically
a 10.
cautious with ages, maybe you can tag that?
I would possibly, yeah, say that. Or yeah, that's neurotically cautious. Yes, totally, through the wind and the sand and everything. I see this lightning coming and totally
Totally
re-roll.
cautious, totally.
Right.
Yes.
Well, you feel the hair on top of your head stand up.
There it is. There it is. That's better. That's a 5. I'll take that.
5 total?
5 total.
Okie doke. So 5 versus 5, that is a push. So neither the storm nor you gets a victory point on that.
Well, I thought you said the lightning was a 4.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. The lightning was a 4. You are correct. So you get
Sorry.
1 victory point.
Okay. No,
So
I'm just making sure I.
no, thank you for reminding me. Okay,
Yep.
Kenneth.
Yeah, I got 4.
You got straight 4?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, so that's not
Four.
gonna be enough against the
Ooh.
against the thing. Any last minute invokes? Wait, no, you
If
have
I
2
fail
free
next
invokes.
time, I have 2 free invokes, so
You
like
can
I
invoke
could
one
I
of
could
them and
use
you
one
succeed.
now in case somebody gets into trouble later. So yeah, I'm gonna invoke my well situated.
Okay,
time.
so that means that you get a
Yeah.
victory point.
Yay.
Oh, hey, Mashavin. What was your roll?
Mishavin's total was 2.
Ah, okay.
No.
Okie doke. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that anyone could really transfer to you at the moment.
No, not right now.
So the storm has a victory point against you.
Very definitely.
And Tome.
I have a 4. But this is a lightning strike that is attacking us.
No, this is
Not
the lightning strike only attacked Landris.
Oh, okay. For the rest of us,
It's the wind,
blizzard.
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I definitely don't succeed on that.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
So, so we have Landris 1, Kenneth 1, Mashavin -1, and Tome -1. Okay, next round. What are people going to be doing any other things that they can do to to modify create aspects or anything like that? If not, we'll go to just the next roll.
And can it yell a suggestion to everyone to get on the ground if they aren't already?
Oh, I mean, yeah, you can always say things.
Yeah. Like get on the ground, like put your toes into the ground and use like your legs to help hold you, not just your arm. Example.
So okay, so what is Tome gonna do? Does she have anything? She's standing, in the higher part, and she's got the lightning rod. Likely means that the lightning will attack you next.
Okay, I was imagining she climbed up and planted it and climbed back down, but maybe she hasn't had time to do that yet.
Yeah, I'll go with it.
Well, she failed. Maybe she got blown off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think she's a little scared and she's going to take Kenneth's advice here and just try to get low to the ground.
Okie doke. Let's do an athletics roll.
So 3.
At a 3. So that, unless you're going to tag something that will not succeed at creating the aspect.
Yeah, I only have 1 fate point left. I don't know if I'm going to tag anything right now.
Fair enough.
It's not like either of our characters have like listens well.
This is true.
Journey aspect.
Yeah.
Takes advice from others.
She tried to take Kenneth's advice, but she's a little rusty at taking advice, so it didn't go well.
So, Mashavin.
Mashavin would like to use notice to try and find a divot or some depression to try and hide.
Okay, doke. We'll do that. We'll do that versus a 5 because of the wind once again.
Right. Yep. That is a straight 0, so a total of 3, and that is at this point, maybe I'm willing to succeed at a major cost.
But you have no point.
Yep.
Hey, wait, before we suffer too much, is another option here just to link out and come back a little later once the storm has passed?
Yeah.
Like, can we just let it blow over from the safe
I'll say you got to get to me first.
Yeah.
Unless some,
Book.
if you've got a linking book, yeah, that is an option.
We can see how round 2 goes.
We can see how round 2 goes. Okay.
I just don't want Mashava to get too hurt.
Yeah. No,
Well, hopefully Mashava is still near me, the person who will almost kill himself to save somebody.
I'm not banged up yet. I'm just barely holding on in the wind. All right. So I'll fail on this 2 since I don't have any fate points left.
Q, are you doing anything?
Nothing other than advice.
Landris?
So clearly Mashava is struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Tome might be struggling in a minute. And my leg is messed up. But I can deal with a jacked up leg. I can't deal with losing somebody on the expedition force.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So I have rope tied to me, and I have these little sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that I could do with these to like try and give them? Is there any? Because he's looking for a divot, and she's just kind of.
And not finding one, it seems.
Yeah, so she's kind of falling down the hill. Because I only think I can help one of you this turn, and I got to figure out how to do that. So Mashavan's closest, and I've already helped him once. Tome's been
holding on to him.
Yeah, and Tome's been mostly okay as long as fire's not involved.
Historically speaking, yes.
So I'm going to trust her this round. Try to save Mashavan first, and try and get him. Like, maybe I can just take one of these sticks and just like get the rope onto it and stake him down, right? Like, so here, hold on to this, like put it through your belt, something so you don't blow away with this little spike in the ground, right?
Okie doke. Let's go ahead and make an athletics roll on that.
Okay.
It's a versus a 5.
Okay, that's a 6. It's a good, yeah. My athletics is a +4, so this is like what I'm good at.
Yeah.
So we got a 6 there. So Mashavan, that's good for him, right? Maybe enough to bypass that 2.
Well, it's at least an aspect that I can with a free invoke, right?
It's an aspect of essentially tethered to the ground.
Okay.
Okie doke. Now we make our rolls.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our roll versus the storm. The lightning hits the Tome's lightning rod, meaning it doesn't it doesn't hit anybody else in the group. Anybody in the group, including Tome. So you're all against the wind, which is harder to avoid, but not going to hurt you really bad.
Oh dear.
Can I make a survival instead of athletics check, or just have
Yes.
to be athletics? Okay.
I got a 3, but I'm gonna use driven with a youthful naivete to kind of throw a middle finger at the storm and use a fate point.
Okie doke. So you okay? So that puts you at 5.
Yep, which is a tie.
Well, it's a push. So you're still at 1 victory. Can it?
Didn't go so great this time. I ended up with 1 total. Even if I invoke, if have my free invoke on my well situated, that's 3.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to bother invoking because that's
Okay,
Well, unless I invoke for a reroll, but
your call.
I do have good athletics, so yeah, maybe I'll invoke that for a reroll.
Go for it.
All right. Oh, that's better. That's a 7 or 6. Sorry.
Woo.
A 6?
Better. Yeah, 6.
Okie doke. So you get your victory point. So you're at 2. Mashavin.
Mishavin rolled a +1, which gives him a 2. So he's going to use the aspect, the free invoke on the tethered to the ground to re-roll.
Okay.
Because a +2 wouldn't help him there. So come on, greatness. No, that is a -3. So he got a -2 overall and is about to be blown away into the storm.
Ooh.
All right. Well, this is the second. This will be
Right.
2 against you. So
Yep. About to be blown away into the storm.
and Tome.
I got a 5, which ties. Does that mean that does that count as victory or not?
Does not count as a victory for either side.
As a victory 5, I said. Okay. So it doesn't count against.
Doesn't count against you at all.
Okay.
Okie doke. So we're back to anybody doing any mitigating actions?
Yes, I'm gonna totally take a page out of Kenneth's book and Facebook Mashavin back to Landris's age before he blows away.
Okay. Roll. That's Legos. Make that a 4.
Swag.
Athletics at a 4.
Okay.
She's good.
Well, that's a dead 0 on the dice, but I've got a 4, so it's a 4.
Okie doke. So it's a tie. So yeah, you swing around, smack Mashavin with the book. Wow, 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 wow. Now make an athletics roll to keep a hold of the book.
Yeah, that's kind of
At a 5.
Like we're losing the book, aren't we?
Okay. I have aspects I can.
And you have fate points.
That is a 5. That's 0, 5. So I can invoke. I could do come into grips with reality. He isn't as smart as he believes he is. As he's just like, crap, and then like hugs
Actually,
the book back.
That is a great thing that you may not be as smart as you think you are. So I am offering a compel on losing the book.
Oh no.
Because that was a smart move, but not as smart as you thought it was.
No. We need that's the book to Landris's age.
Oh no.
So you can pay off the compel with a fate point.
I'll pay off the compel with a fate point because we don't want to lose these books.
Fair enough.
It's either that or you're totally just gonna let go of your sticks and like jump after the book, and then you'll be somewhere.
Right, like I'm like, yeah, I would chase that book down if it actually blew away. So.
He's still there,
So Tome, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not sure what else I can do to prepare for the next round here.
Fair enough. We can move on.
Yep, nothing for me either.
Okie doke. So Mashavin is out of the picture.
That Kenneth sees that and probably is like, "Wow, that was a good idea." And then sees like the book flapping dangerously. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Okie doke. All roll versus a 5. The lightning once again it gets attracted to the lightning rod.
I've done it all. Well.
Tome, what'd you get?
And I only got a 4.
You only got a 4.
I
mean, you can invoke once again. I mean, well, you don't have your stick anymore, but let's see here.
I don't have the stick, and I wasn't holding on to Landris's rope.
Okay, so that's going to be a victory point against you.
Is there any way I could use my parkour stunt to do some kind of acrobatics here to keep my footing? Maybe I get blown over backwards a little and I do a back handspring or something. And
Plus, I mean, like, she still has 1 stick, right? So if it was +2 for walking sticks, she should get a +1 for walking sticks. She's still got 1.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we each got
There you
1 or
go.
2 walking sticks.
Yeah.
In
Don't
any of those
think I've
cases, if you're
packed-
willing to spend your last fate point, I'm willing to give you the success on this one.
How long do we have left in the session? Another hour.
Got another hour.
There are fate points.
Hour.
Yeah, I guess. Well, so Mashavan's note has already been linked back.
Yep.
I was gonna say, I guess if Mashavan has spent all his fate points, I might as well spend another. But maybe we need fate points for the people who are still here. Maybe I need to save it. I don't think I'm that desperate yet. I think maybe I will just fail on this one.
Yeah, you only have 2 fails then. You didn't get 3 fails. So
I'll spend it next time if I need to.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. 2. You got. So the storm has 2 on you. Kenneth,
Uh-huh.
what was your roll?
Yeah. Oh, I got 3. Yeah. But I have 2 victories against the storm, so I can fail this one.
I mean, if you want to spend a fate point on maybe gonna stand my ground.
Yeah, I could do that, or I could spend a fate point on the aspect because I had 2 free invokes and I got rid of those.
Yep.
It would take me up to a tie, but like, how many rounds is there? I thought there was 3 rounds.
It depends on who gets to 3 first for each person.
Oh. Well, that would only take me to a tie. Doggone it all. That would be great.
I mean, if you want to spend both fate points, that's 2 invokes, and that'll put you over. That'll put you over, and then it means you are safe for the rest of the round of the storm.
Oh, but that's no fun. Yeah,
Fair enough.
I'm gonna fail this one. We're just gonna fail this one. I'm not spending like my last 2 points here. I think we might need those.
Okay, Laundress.
I just got a 7. Who's he saving this time?
7. Well, I mean, it's
okay. So we got Kenneth's been okay.
Well, this is just the roll versus the storm.
Right.
So, you succeed again. You succeeded. No. How many successes is that for you then?
2. I have 2 successes and a push.
Okay, okay. Now we do the round where people can try to change the situation. Tome.
Yeah, I really want to come up with something. Can I just try? The last time I tried to kind of drop to the ground or get into a better position for myself, it failed. Can I try that again?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
You can do survival or athletics on this versus 5.
Yep. Nope.
Nope.
There's a -2 on the dice. So.
Oh.
All right.
And you're saving that last fate point?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Okie doke. That's the last victory point for the storm.
I thought this was just mitigating things.
Right, this is
Oh no, you're right. This is the mitigation thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I apologize. Thank you for keeping me honest.
Yeah.
Or at least less oblivious.
I was gonna say. All right, so Tome hasn't been doing well.
Yep. Kenneth, what are you up to?
I would love to. I'm like, well, she has been working on her empathy and notice. Maybe she'd notice that Tome is doing poorly. And like, if she's still got that rope, maybe she could try to like edge over Tome to give Tome the extra support of. Except the rope is on Laundress, and that's not great.
Well, I mean, it is a rope, and it's on. I mean, it is connected to Laundress, but it's connected to you too.
Probably go. At least we'll be tied together. It'll be harder for the storm to blow all 3 of us away.
There is an empty
so
spot.
I think she might.
Plus, I've got the linking book, so we're okay.
Yeah, she might try to scoot over to Tome and try to give her the rope.
Okay, athletics versus 5.
Okay.
There's this convenient portion of the rope that's already ready for a person to out of it.
As if someone was there. I can still hear his voice.
Yeah, I only got a 2. That's
not dead.
I know. Because otherwise I end up having to spend both fate points just to get over there. So.
Or spend 1 for a reroll.
Yeah, okay, I'll spend 1 for a reroll.
Okie doke.
4. That's not much better. No, it's better than 2, I guess. But yeah, I'll spend my last fate point to invoke Well Situated to succeed with 6.
Thank you, Kat.
Okie doke.
At
So-
this point, it's like about the storm winning.
Yep.
It's
Okie doke. Laundress, mitigation.
So Kenneth's got Tomei sorted.
Yeah.
Kenneth's been doing okay. Mashavan's dealt with.
Mhm.
I think at this point, yeah, it's just sort of try to hunker down so that I can be as, because she's got the rope to Tomei. I'm gonna try and just sort of hunker down and try and be, just in case people fail, enough to help them not completely blow away.
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll versus your athletics versus 5.
That's 5.
5?
Perfect. There we go. Yes.
You said 5 total?
Yes, because that's
Okay,
a
doke.
0, that's a -1, but that's a +1. Oh no, so it's 4 total. Excuse me. Did my math wrong that time? No, that cancels. No, I did it right. Yes, that's 5.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, doke. So you do create the aspect hunkered down, but you don't get any free invokes on it.
Yep, that's fine.
But you are definitely hunkered down. Okie doke. And now, the roll, the storm roll. So, Tomei, Kenneth, and Laundress.
I got rolled a -3. So
I got a 6.
You got a 6. Okay.
I got a 2.
So Laundress, this is your third success, right?
My third success.
Okay, you are hunkered down and safe, and you are, I will say, since you were succeeded now, that your we'll actually go ahead and I'll make a change where your +1 from setting the anchor point now comes back into force.
Perfect. So everybody gets just a
+1.
+1. Cool.
So both you and both Tomei and Kenneth get a +1 to what they just rolled.
because I'm now attached to the anchor point.
Yes.
Yeah. It's still a 3 for me. Which,
Still a 3 for me too. 1 for me. A 2. Sorry, it's a 2 for
Could
me.
I spend a fate point to make that hunker down work in conjunction with the anchor point and give them a +2 instead?
Yep. It's your last fate point.
Anybody?
so now I have what? So sorry, now I have 5. Yeah. Okay.
That's at
And
least
you
a
have-
push instead of a fail.
Yeah.
Would that help Tomei at all?
Well, that would bring me up to a 3, and I would spend my last fate point.
Okay. So, Tomei, I'm giving you the option to succeed at a serious cost, if you like.
Could I also invoke something and spend my fate point to get a +2 and succeed? Oh no, that's still be tied.
Okay, actually, let's go through options. Also something that hasn't come up before, but it is in the rules, is the option to concede, which means that you are taken out of the scene, but you get to decide how you were taken out of the scene, and you get a fate point for it.
Mm.
So instead of me deciding that you get blown away, you can decide why you are no longer a part of the scene. It just means that you are indisposed in some way. You get a fate point for conceding the scene, and then, like I said, but you decide how you are indisposed.
Okay, I don't think I want to take like a serious consequence at this point because Tomei was already injured recently, and I know she's healed, but I think
Sure.
she doesn't want to go through that again. So in my mind, she's like, so like Landris is safe, and she's like pulling her way up this rope and like trying to reach out to like take his hand or something, and she just can't quite reach it. And then she is thinking about Mashavan, who's kind of alone now and back at the old. Was he linked back to the headquarters or to Landris's age?
Landris's age.
Landris's age. Okay, so she's thinking about how he'll have to reconnect with the group somehow, and probably had a little bit of a harrowing experience. And so she's like Landris, the book. And so she's like reaching out. She can't quite take his hand, but like he extends the book and she can just barely reach the linking panel, and she links back to where Mashavin is.
Okie doke. Awesome. That is awesome sauce.
That's
So
good.
you get a fate point back for the concession.
Thanks.
And now it's just Landris is set, and Kenneth. Did you spend the fate point to help Kenneth out, Landris?
Yeah, so I spent the fate point to just give people +2, so you can do hunker down and at the anchor point, which would give Kenneth a push.
Yeah, so I got a tie instead.
Okie doke. Okie doke. So left in the scene, we have Kenneth and Landris. Before we'll make this next roll the last roll of the storm.
Okay.
Okay.
And so this is it's sort of the big one for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're safe.
I'm safe. I've got you. I've got you.
I've got 2 victories, 1 fail, and 1 tie. So like either way, I'm not gonna get blown away.
Yeah.
So
unless you get really, really bad.
I mean, if you guys want to just say that Landris grabs you and like tackles you to the ground,
well, she's on the ground.
or I mean, or at least
Kenneth's been kind of like bolstered near the ground
Okay.
for the whole storm. She's the one who gave everybody else the idea.
Okay. If you want to, if you want to say that Landris, you and Landris work together to withstand the rest of it, I'm willing to go with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Since you're so close and Landris is already set.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. She wouldn't want to give up because I'm pretty sure you could compel her to stay with numerous aspects. So she wouldn't be giving up and going home. Like, no, I can do it.
Okay. Before we get back to you guys, then we've got Kenneth and Landris who have withstood the sudden and relatively brief sandstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Mashavin linked through to back to Landris's age, and I am going to offer. I'm going to compel Mashavin.
Okay.
With the age the Landris's age. What do you call that? Landris's age aspect of a savage world with secrets beneath the surface. And so when you link in, you get swarmed by nasty biting bugs.
Oh no, the bugs. I'm sorry, Mashavin.
So you get a minor consequence, but since you can't avoid the compel, you get 1 fate point.
That seems perfectly fair.
Yeah. This was for the jellyfish, wasn't it?
Let me find a pencil real quick and write this down.
Okie doke.
I've got it written down.
Should we do our break pretty soon?
Yeah, I mean we've been going pretty well, and we have about an hour left, so we can do a quick break, so everybody can take bio break and that sort of thing. So is 10 minutes good or?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okie doke. So everybody in the chat, we will be back in 10 minutes, and we'll see you soon. Shara, and welcome back. We're back from our break, and now we will continue in the aftermath of our, um, you know, horrible sandstorm that's blown through. Kenneth and Landris are still in Ishna. Um, a little worse for the wear, but doing okay. Mashavin and Tome are uh, back at Laundress's age in the HQ, where Mashavin is recovering from being swarmed by vicious insects that tend to wander around the age. So, what's the next step? What y'all in the age doing? Laundress, Kenneth.
Can Laundress still walk?
Well, yeah, I think he can still walk. He's got a limp, but we could probably fashion a little splint and use one of these poles as like a crutch.
Yeah.
To keep going.
Yeah.
So now it might take a while to get there, but it's still only 2 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to make contact with the other side of the team, or?
Oh right, Kenneth's the only one with the D. Landris
doesn't have one.
So yeah, I guess Kenneth would definitely write.
Oh, hey, sounds good.
The storm blew over. We're okay. Are you two okay? Kind of a thing. Make sure that they didn't die.
So yeah, you get those messages over. You guys in headquarters. Have you been doing anything besides recovering and wiping bugs off you?
The retching from swallowing bugs.
Oh God, got my mouth.
Yeah, between being essentially sandblasted and then dropped in a swarm of bugs, Mashavin is, shall we say, taking a moment.
Maybe he needs a nap.
Yeah, I could see that. I can understand that being the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a moment, please.
Mm-hmm.
How was Tome doing?
If you were in the Dunny HQ, it would be at this precise moment that Tellin would knock on the door.
Right, exactly. So Tome, are you doing anything specific? You managed to link through without damage.
Yes, I wish I had more useful skills. I don't really have the ability to give medical care to Mashavin. I don't really have the ability to craft anything. I think in Tome's mind, she wants to rejoin Laundress and Kenneth as soon as it's safe, but ideally she would bring some additional supplies, like whether it's cleats for our boots or whether it's new walking poles or I'm even imagining just like something kind of heavy. Like I guess I could find rocks around the cave and put them in my backpack to help weigh me down, which would, make the. Yeah, I need some of those like iron boots that you can take on and off, and just magically the weight goes away.
Oh yeah.
Them. But
Denis, spirit of the wind.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know really which of those things I could actually accomplish during this time. I can at least help to stave off. I forget. Is there something that drives the insects away? Do they not like fire?
They don't like light. They don't like a lot of light.
Okay, so maybe I'll at least light some fire marbles around Mashavin and me. Just check in with Mashavin, ask if there's anything he needs. Just kind of return the favor that he extended to me the last time I was injured.
I think maybe just a little bit of time to recover from bugs and clean out all of maybe just change clothes, wash everything, get the sand out, of my hair and everywhere. And you know how sand is.
Yeah.
Of course, it gets everywhere.
Makes sense.
So I guess Tome will just kind of keep an eye and make sure Mashavin's okay. Keep an eye on D messages that might be incoming.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, you guys get to a calm point where you can reorganize. So yeah.
Is Kenneth Armetic or is Celia Armetic? I forget.
Kenneth.
Celia, isn't it?
Kenneth.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in with Kenneth's first aid supplies back at the HQ. Is there one of those air cast boot things, for when you have a sprained ankle. Like a dunny version that might be made out of stone.
To do that, but not like there. She would offer instead that she should run ahead because she's an athlete.
Well, so what I was gonna say is like
run off ahead of him and then get the key and come back and make sure that Landris is okay. Like I don't even know that she would stick around to like have him limp behind her. It would drive her insane to have him walk.
Well, so but also we always
not the most empathetic person.
Is that?
But we did agree nobody goes anywhere alone anymore. That's the only thing I'm thinking of. And while you might not carry something like that with you, if we know Toma is about to come back, it might be something that's back at the base you might have.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's no like sticks around or anything because it's just a sandblasted wasteland.
Yeah.
So there's not like there's anything there to make a splint with. And she knows that she won't be able to convince you to go back without her. But she also knows that you can't walk fast enough to stop her.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm literally you've all seen them. They're like the big black like plastic boot things.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
I totally know. I have an air cast. I absolutely know what you're talking about.
Like,
so the plan is that you guys are going to wait for Tomei to bring some supplies and then move forward, or is it just that Kennett's going to decide I'll be back? And,
well, in loot because there could be another. We don't know how frequent the storms are. Like if we wait for Tomei, we can have another storm on us, and then we'd all just have to link back, and then it's like, well, that's ridiculous. We've just gone through this. We're still here. We should just capitalize on the fact that we're still here and go for it. I'm sorry.
I have this mental image of Kenneth being just like, I'll be right back. I just like, no, but wait. And she's like, no, just I'll be right back. And just that back and forth exchange, and then eventually Kenneth just like sprints off where Landis can't even attempt to keep up.
Because she has linking books, like she can link back to the office if something horrible happens. Unfortunately, Landris doesn't have any communication device.
That's true.
So what are you going to do? That's the question.
So I would actually send her because I typically I would send her with the Landris age linking book then. I'd at least wing it at her. So because she's probably way out of.
Do you want to have Landris link back to his back to his age then, or just sit there in the landscape?
He won't link back without you.
Oh, okay.
Right. Last one out.
Like, well, then you can sit here and wait for me to get back.
He's gonna kind of slowly limp after her, but she's probably long gone.
like that scene from Monsters Inc., right? Or no, Monsters vs. Aliens.
Yeah.
Tommy's gonna link back to just like a limping Landris, like she went that way, and then also leave Landris behind.
I don't think she'd have the patience. Despite her being 100%. A medic, the patient usually stays on the bed, and then you get to go and do things. Right. No, the patient comes with you. What? No.
Okay, though. So, Kenneth is moving ahead.
Sorry, nope. I think that's what she would do.
Nope. There's nothing to be sorry.
He would ditch you. I'm really sorry.
But yeah, I mean, there isn't actually another storm, so you make pretty good, time, past several different, sets of ruins. Until what you get something that looks like a big, one of those ancient Greek amphitheaters that are kind of dug into the ground a bit.
She's gonna take some pictures with her key and send them Machavan and Tomei.
Okay.
All right, keep going.
It's got it doesn't have a lot of sand, in it, but it has some that's been kind of blown in towards the bottom. So the area that would have been where the stage is got several inches of sand. But otherwise it's all stone, and it looks like in its day it was a very big and busy sort of amphitheater.
Okay. Well,
so now you're here.
Now she's here, and she's like, I'm gonna go get that key, and then she remembers, oh, I don't have the dummy key.
Nope.
That's too bad. Screw it. I'm going to get the key anyway.
Uh-huh.
Didn't Machavan have the decoy key? Or
Yep,
Almost,
Michelle
almost
had it.
definitely, yeah.
Yep.
yeah, all right.
And where's the key again?
Wasn't it in the pedestal at the
Yep.
Center stone.
Center stone. There you go.
down?
Okay,
So,
yeah. You
just gonna
you
make
find
my
a center stone,
stage.
which you can pry up a bit, and sure enough, there's the key. There's a key
Great.
under there. Looks the same style that you have found. There's not anything else that's gonna happen here. No other things that are gonna jump up on you. So we can kind of fast forward to
Characters.
getting everybody back together or
Yeah,
whatever you're
she would
going to do
pocket it
next.
and just run back to Laundress.
Uh-huh.
Because she knows he's just going to be like limping along after her. And she's like, that's just sad. He's just going to make it worse for me when I get to like actually get him to be a patient. So
Okie doke. So you get together with Laundress then,
yeah,
and you guys are linking back.
but doesn't that leave a copy? Like, how are we going to get
I
rid
was
of
gonna
this
say
copy if
Landris
it's
will make sure that the book is destroyed.
I mean, sandblasted wastelands are not friendly places for.
I'll tinderbox. I can
Book.
always burn it.
Tinderbox it. Okay.
That's good.
Okay. And you link back with the key.
Yes.
Okie doke. So you are you have 3 keys. And 2 people with wounds.
Yep.
Still a couple of extra bugs that are kind of sitting in the shadows
Yeah.
between the fire marbles. So what are you going to do now?
I think we need to tend to the wounded for sure. Like,
Okay.
That would be
obviously,
appreciated.
I'm gonna take care of Laundress's leg. Maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe it's hips out, or something, and she can
Iodine all
elevate him,
over
get
Mashavin,
some-
for the bugs.
get him some water, and then get over there and like use heat treatment on any bug bites or something on
Mhm.
Mashavin, and
Yeah.
make sure like encourage everyone to hydrate, as it was a dry and windy thing, and you probably all have sand up your noses, etc.
Mhm.
Should probably take in some extra water, moisturize.
So we have only about a half an hour left of the session, so this might be a good time to sort of think about what your guys are going to do for your next move, and maybe any preparation for that, or any other things that you want to do before you take your next adventure. Sort of cleanup time.
So I've been thinking about this. So we've got these 3 keys that supposedly lead to the seed.
Mhm.
These can't be the only keys.
I see no reason the cult would not have a single point of failure.
Well, because they keep talking about they know where the seed is. It's their seed. Nobody else can get to it. But how do they know it's still there if they only have one set of keys?
Because they're overconfident cultists.
That's always a possibility.
Just
Remember, we've got people like
everyone
Escher
else
among
are
them.
A bunch of morons and can't do anything.
Some of them
It's
can't
not-
even say Denis properly.
Not an unreasonable assumption.
Hmm.
I think that's sure so much.
and how unimportant are these keys? Like, are these even still the right keys? Like, somebody would have come back and checked on these keys if they were really that critically important to the seed, right?
That's
That's-
possible.
It's possible, but
not the whole cult knows where the keys are hidden.
True.
It seems to be like a subset of people who know what's going on in the rest are lackeys, right? Like there seems to be layers in the cult of the tree. So it's possible that only a few people know where they are, and if they are busy because they're not just cultists full time, right? They have other jobs in Dunny, right? So that they don't make themselves obvious, like the Relima. Obviously, Adri is posing as someone from the Guild of Messengers, and you wouldn't be able to pose as someone from the Guild of Messengers unless you delivered messages, right?
That's true.
So these people.
some people are just weekend zealots.
Right.
Some people have full-time jobs, so they may not have had a chance to check on the key, or maybe they went to the Heller and went, oh no, we had a cave in, what could possibly have gone wrong? Well, our people are like, like there's been any number of possibilities. I mean, they were ahead of us before on several other ages. And the fact that we're ahead of them now, it is a little suspicious. You're right.
Yeah.
Because they were
Also,
always
do
one
the
step
keys
ahead.
all look the same, or are there subtle differences between them?
They pretty much look all the same.
So these could
So we could have just made 2 copies of the first one that were identical.
or these are all decoys, and we've been
There you
played
go.
We're finding someone else's decoy.
Yeah. Well, see, but then you'd know they're decoys, but then they would know that you know that they're never mind.
They're all like
just somewhere hidden is just love Escher.
Escher was here.
Okay, no, serious. So, I mean, so you've got the keys. What do you? What is the next things that you guys want to do?
I see that we have maybe 2 paths. One is, well, 3, now that I think about it. One is, do what we're supposed to do in Sallow, find the ocean. We can go back to Heller and try and find the missing villagers. Maybe with fewer explosions this time. And the third one is go get the 4th key from Denis.
Or use the 3 keys to open the chamber in Denis.
Right. I don't think the 4th one is actually a key. I think that's just where the seed is. I think that's the seed spot in Dunn.
Sure, then. We can go after the seed.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the other stupid Landris question.
Mm-hmm.
We've been working to try and find this seed without really knowing what it does, not really having much of a plan. So much like a dog chasing after a car, when we get there and we get the seed, what do we do then?
We hide it.
Right.
Like
we bring it back here and stare at it for a while to figure out what it does.
I didn't figure, it's funny. I thought we were just trying to get it so that the cultist didn't have it. I don't think Kenneth ever thought about having the seed possessing it herself or themselves. It was just like, it's just so that other people can't have it and do something stupid with it.
And then what if the seed is more metaphorical, right? Like what if this is?
What if it's a person?
What if it's a person? That's exactly like, because the last big thing was like this big prophet from the cult of the tree who, did this big thing and sprouted, a new tree with all these new things. What if this is that person who just hasn't begun their writing yet and they're trying to protect them because they're genetically related to somebody else? Da, 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 da. Like, it's a lot harder to take and hide a person.
That's
not to mention the moral question.
That is also true.
Than an object itself. Like, should we try to figure out more about what this seed is before we just gung-ho it into this place in Dunny?
Well, I do want to find out whether the Rallyma have been able to extract any more information from the captive cultists, both because it could provide some leads on that question and also because the trail we were following in relation to human trafficking kind of dried up. And I think Tomei does still feel preoccupied with that issue. So maybe one thing would be that we could do would be to have another kind of discreet check-in with the Rallyma.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Did you just want to try to contact Adri or?
Yeah, I guess so. Just using RTs. I mean, also they were supposed to provide supplies to us that I don't know that we've received yet. So we follow up on that.
I mean,
yeah, that seems something we can do right now.
Yeah. What specifically? Are you just going to contact Adri and just say hey do you have any updates for us?
Yeah, asking any more information or the supplies on their way. And I don't know if we should run some sort of disinformation about what we've been up to. We haven't found anything of interest yet. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you could say trying to keep telling off our back by visiting Solomon.
Right. Yeah, that's funny. We're
But we have time. We have lots of time on Solid. I'm not really worried.
Well, we're gonna tell Adri that we've been doing what Helen said, so that way he's off our back, but we're not actually doing what Helen
Okay,
said.
that makes sense. That makes
Makes
sense.
sense. So, Adri will say that the materials and such are still being arranged. He will pass on that the that the cultist that they'd found. His name's Fegoth. And Fegoth apparently doesn't know a lot about what's going on. He's sort of a low level sort of person. Um, in that he doesn't know exactly what the seed is. It's something that's supposed to. It's some sort of miracle item that is supposed to according to the legends that it's supposed to rescue Denis um from some great calamity. But it's sort of like it's been sort of a story passed down kind of between for generations. Um and it isn't till recently that they actually managed that the people in charge managed to recover the seed from where it was. So it's sort of like um, it was sort of a myth, a legend amongst the remaining cult of the tree over the many thousands of years. But recently that they've managed to actually acquire the seed and now they have the miracle promised to them in their hands. Though he's never actually seen it, he doesn't know what it does. He just knows that it's going to be the thing that turns everything around for the cult, because that's what they told him.
Sounds even more like a secret child of Karat or something like that. This really sounds like a person, Heck, I guess it could even be Tomei at this point.
Oh, that would be
what?
twist.
That'd be a plot twist.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean in your hands?
Your hand opened the lock. You're related to somebody who was part of this cult.
Oh god.
No, he still
Turns
hasn't
out
told us
everyone
about-
else, like we're all cult members, and we just have been keeping it on the DL. Plot twist. Sorry, Mom.
Javan is secretly Escher.
I mean, the funny thing here is that like there is a big calamity about to befall Denis, and it would be great if they had some magical item to save them. So maybe we're the bad guys here.
Right.
Oh no! Like everybody causes the fall of.
Maybe if we had thwarted the cult of the tree, everything would have gone fine, and there would have been a downfall.
That's okay. We got my age. We'll be all right. It's not on record anywhere. Suddenly it'll be like however many years in the future, Atris comes through. She's like, wow, this is a cool place. Old man Mishavan comes out of the corner. Okay. I think our best path right now is to continue following up on Heller.
Okay.
Because did we deter? Kenneth, you know where you can get you back to that key spot easily, right?
Yeah. You want to go plant the decoy?
I want you. Yeah, I'm thinking we have Kenneth plant the decoy and we keep our eyes on it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
So that
if we're going back to Heller anyway, we could also plant it there because we never left a decoy on Heller.
well, but the one in
But we
Heller
collapsed
is
everything.
blown up.
Well, I mean, we can
The basement.
bury it in the sand or something. I don't know. But yeah.
My thought process is while we're following up on the human trafficking, if suddenly the decoy has something happen to it, then we expedite getting to the cult of the tree spot in Dunny.
Yeah.
Before
Okay.
they get ahead of us again.
That's a great idea.
Because if we are on the lead foot right now, we have a little bit of breathing room, and we don't want to be trying to play catch up again just because we don't fully understand what this item is. And then we can be maximizing this time while we're still trying to find more information about it to help out Tomei's people.
That seems like a good plan. I agree.
Yeah.
Okie doke. That seems like a good place to sort of wrap up.
Yeah.
We got some things that we're doing. We've got we've got the 3 keys. So yeah, I mean, any kind of last details before we wrap up?
Mishavan is terrible athletics.
Yeah, there you go. Now
Is
you
that
guys
what
are
you're
still
working on next?
you guys
You're
are
just gonna
still
start,
at
like, working out and trying to get up to.
Andres is really great at getting hurt.
you guys are still at the at Laundress's age, right?
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Okay.
I'd like somebody goes back periodically to check on the office, but
yeah,
because
Are
we've
we
got the bathysphere and other stuff still showing up.
Are we saying that Kenan has successfully deposited the decoy key
Yeah.
in Ishna? Okay.
So, okay, the last thing I'll mention is that okay, who's the people who are checking on the materials? That see if the materials show up. Who's doing that?
It would probably be a combination of me and Mishavan.
Mishavan's a little indisposed with bug bites right now, so Landris can limp his way through it, perhaps.
Yep. Yeah, so Landris will go back and check on it.
Well, also we still have that camera, so Mishavan could just be checking the
true.
camera, so to see if there's any boxes in front of our door. Right?
I think
we don't
Or
have
an angry
Oh,
teller
and
knocking on our door.
if I remember, the camera's just still images, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it takes a picture every once in a while.
And it's the
Yeah.
front door, or
The front door, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
like
You notice that one of the pictures, there seems to be there was a stack of boxes.
Okay.
And then the next picture, the boxes have all toppled over, and are kind of scattered.
Here.
toppled over from what side? Like from the side of our door? Like
They just seem to
somebody-
have been scattered.
Somebody was
someone's
searching
gone
through our
into
stuff.
them. Somebody went through our stuff. But
Damn.
obviously we're trying to be sneaky about it, or they would have. Well,
Right, that's an Amazon package thief.
Yeah.
So Landris is gonna probably go and get these boxes loaded up.
Mhm.
Is there
I'll just
anything
bring them inside.
noticeably missing?
So, also, Kenneth, you get a message from your mother.
oh dear.
No.
It's your mother.
Which pretty much says, "Are you okay?
And mom.
Are
Concerning.
are you okay?"
Yes.
So,
I'm just on assignment, mom.
are you in Denis?
No.
So you didn't feel the tremors.
No. What happened?
There have been a number of tremors. There were a number of tremors earlier today.
Oh no. Is everyone okay?
Your father's fine. The guild doesn't report any significant damage. Those, a lot of things were knocked off of shelves and such.
Okay. Do they know what happened?
No, I mean, we're still trying to hear back from, the stonemasons, and the analysts haven't mentioned anything yet. They haven't come back with any results yet.
Okay.
Oh no, I know where we are.
So she's gonna like relay this to the rest of the teams, like, good news, probably nobody stole our stuff. Bad news is, yeah, there was a tremor. Y'all might want to check on your guilds,
Right.
families and stuff.
Does Landris even have any family to care about right now?
But yeah, you can bet the maintainers and the engineers are gonna be freaking out right now.
Right.
The guild is father, the guild is mother.
Hey, Landris totally logs into his maintainer's account and somebody else's D to figure out if there's an emergency thing that he's supposed to be at right now.
Emergency meeting.
Not at the moment. I mean, there has been some minor, damage here and there. That's been, and the stonemasons and the mechanists, are being, dispatched. There's some, nothing that seems particularly major. These things, it's the sort of thing that happens underground every once in a while.
True.
But there are some people got hurt. So the healers are
obviously big enough for the.
but nothing, no fatalities or
any,
anything.
Are there any names of import on the list of injured?
On the list of injured? No.
Okay. So there's no
anyone missing.
Say there's no Viovis has suffered a massive head wound or something, right?
No, I mean, in fact, there was some old news about Viovis being tried for something.
Oh, okay. So okay. In my brain, I was thinking this is when the incident up the shaft happened, but okay. There we go.
I mean, you guys haven't been paying much attention to the local news.
No, we don't pay attention to current events.
Yeah,
no, we don't.
We can. We got our own thing. So okay.
Well.
So this Viovis guy got tried for stuff recently. I think I heard something about a strange person, but I don't know if I believe that.
But... Maybe we should look at getting those keys to Denny faster than we thought we should.
I guess.
Well, Landris is gonna load the stuff into the age. He'll do that at least.
Yeah.
Pick up our disheveled stuff outside the office.
Like if you have a cat.
I don't even know if Landris has any family he cares about right now. Everybody's kind of disowned him. So.
Okie doke. Well, we will wrap up there.
Yeah.
Since we're pretty close to the end here. And so our next session will be the first Sunday of February, which actually isn't till the 6th of February.
Oh, okay.
1 p.m., same bat time. I'm trying to think. Yeah, February 6th, 1 p.m. Pacific time. We'll start with the next session. The semi-regular live streams will continue to try to happen on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Pacific. Some days I make it, some days I don't, depending on what's going on. We are in the middle of playing Revelation. And we've gone through Haven and we're in Spire now. After that, we'll probably take a sideline into some Uru games. So, as usual, if you like what we do, Patreon link is down there towards the bottom. Or if for the new people who've been here, if you're still around, feel free to follow. We're not an affiliate channel or anything yet, so we don't have any subscriptions or such, anything like that. But someday. And remember to buy Cyan stuff because they're the reason we're here. Okay, thanks to everybody who showed up. Thanks to our raiders. Thanks once again to the players for a very awesome game. And we will see you next time.
Thanks, Steve.
Shona.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Steve.